The Raptors coaching search continues, and this time they interviewed Steve Nash. Talk about casting a wide net here on Hoop Talks. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Noor Zainab, Justin Pooni, unfortunately, Crina Mustafa, Jelani Goodridge-Reid, and here we are talking the Toronto Raptors. Why, guys? Why? Because we're still without a head coach. And the Raptors, as we said, they committed to the idea of casting a wide net, because now we were looking at, I believe they had a quick look at Sergio for a little bit. They were also looking at Mike Budenholzer, but they've actually gone and interviewed Steve Nash, Mr. Canadian Steve Nash. He's had a rough past with the Brooklyn Nets ever since he got appointed to do a coaching job there. When he was there, he joined in 2020. He ended that season, the first season, with a 48-24 record. They ended that year going to the Eastern Conference semifinals and lost to the Bucks, obviously. But the following year after that, they had a record of 44-38. They ended that year by getting swept by the Celtics in the first round. And infamously, that summer, Kevin Durant came out and he said that I will not return to the Nets if Steve Nash is still my head coach, and he still was, maybe for like a week. After that, he got let go. And now it brings us to here. He could be the next coach. So a lot of people are out there saying, what's Masai thinking? What's he doing? Do you guys see something positive here, Jelani?
I don't know about this. I don't agree, really? To be honest with you. Steve Nash, growing up, my favorite point guard, no doubt about it. But as a coach, I've seen what I've seen in Brooklyn. And I know it's not all his fault, because what he was given, all those personalities, the vaccine thing with Kyrie, all that stuff with Kyrie, KD, how he wasn't fully happy there. Harden, he wasn't happy from the get-go, and then he wanted out. So I'm not going to blame all of that on Nash, but we saw a lack of just elite game planning. There were times in those playoff runs where he did not adjust at all, and you saw that, and that's why they were bounced early. The Boston Celtics, they outcoached him terribly. It was really bad. That's why they got swept, right? And then even the Bucks series, there were problems there too. So I don't know what the plan is here. I just think this is yet another name that you bring in. You want to see what he can offer Toronto. So yes, I get the interview aspect, but if you're asking me, should we hire Steve? No, I don't think so. No.
Would you agree, Crina?
I think also what Jelani mentioned at the beginning, when Steve Nash was brought in for the Nets and had to deal with all these different personalities and egos, that to me is also another factor that makes me a bit doubtful about how he would lead a Toronto Raptors team, because right now, we've talked about it all season long, they need leadership. They need a firm voice in the locker room, somebody who can manage all these people together. Obviously, being a head coach for the first time is extremely hard. Like, there is no doubt about that. But sometimes it's not for everybody. I think he could be a good coach. Like, honestly, when you even repeated the Brooklyn Nets record with him back to me, I was like, that doesn't even sound as bad as I had built it up in my head to be. But I just remember the vibes just being so bad around that team that it made it feel so much worse than it probably actually was. Yeah. But I just think that if the Raptors are looking for a new direction, not sure if he would be at the top of my list, but it doesn't hurt to interview him.
I think you guys are both crazy.
Okay, I don't care.
I thought I said
It's
something
Steve
pretty
Nash.
rational.
So,
but okay.
It's a name.
Let me explain. Okay, let me explain.
Go ahead.
You guys aren't.
I know.
I respect your guys.
I want to hear this.
Okay, so look, where did Steve Nash come from when he was a player consultant? He came from the Golden State.
Good one.
That's grade 1 level humor right there. I'm trying to break down the game of basketball.
You should try it. Be level up for you, but sorry, continue.
Yeah, sorry, you didn't understand it. Maybe I should go lower.
It kind of went right over. It's kindergarten, you got to stick to kindergarten. Grade 1's too much for Justin. You opened the door, bro. But continue.
Do I have the respect of you guys to continue on?
Yes.
Okay. So Steve Nash comes from the Golden State Warriors system, right? Where he was with guys like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. And in that, they played a style of game that, revolutionized the game of basketball, right? Where was he doing that before? He was running point guard for the Phoenix Suns, an offense that revolutionized the game of basketball, right? Steve Nash is one of the smartest basketball players we've ever seen, right? He got put in a very tough situation in Brooklyn. He had to deal with Kevin Durant, who we know has a very interesting personality, cannot be the easiest person to work with. James Harden, clearly everywhere he goes, there's chaos everywhere. Kyrie Irving, and then the vaccine mandate, all of that. A lot of was put on Steve Nash's plate that I'm sure he never expected, right? But that doesn't take away from the fact that Steve Nash is a brilliant basketball mind and a guy that these.
Nobody's saying
Hold
that's
on,
not
let me
true.
finish. I gave you your time to talk.
I know, but
Let
I'm
me
just saying
talk.
nobody's saying that's not true. You're used to cutting people off. So
Did I cut you off today?
No, but I'm just
what I'm
saying,
saying, let me
before you continue, nobody's saying he's not a smart basketball mind. We know he's a smart basketball mind. This is about the coaching aspect of it.
Yeah, if you let me finish, I can get to that point. Okay?
It's a conversation.
You're talking about the egos that the Toronto Raptors had this year, right? Well, who knows which players are going to be back this year, right? We don't know what egos are going to be in the door, right? That's why I think having a guy like Steve Nash in there, who, quite frankly, is still one of the most respected basketball players ever, right? He's well respected in basketball circles, right? He's a guy that could be. You can relate to players because he's played in the league as well, right? And also, another thing is he's good PR as well for the Toronto Raptors, a team that needs some good PR. He's a Canadian legend coaching Canada's team, right? That optically looks very
Canadian
well.
Players too, so I see that.
At the end of the day, I think, yeah, he might not be the number one choice, but he's certainly better than a JJ Redick opportunity or something like that. I think Steve Nash.
I forgot about JJ Redick.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Steve Nash is somebody who should be he's not certainly on the top of my list, right? But he's definitely a guy the Raptors should be very serious about going forward with.
Yeah, I get your point about like how he's definitely has that relationship with the Canadian players out there. They respect him, they understand him. Seeing him be part of the team too probably does something for him out there. My only concern with that is, again, like, I get what you're saying, but it's just he might not be the guy to lead a team, just as Crina said, because we're worrying about egos at this point because of what we saw with the team last year. And I'm the more we see everything unfold after Nick Nurse got fired, after the Raptors at the end of their season, to me, it really indicated that the team had lost the locker room. So the next guy that has to come in needs to be about setting a standard, discipline, putting people in their roles. And if Steve Nash couldn't figure out Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, we all forgot Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was there too for a big chunk of it. And if he couldn't figure those out, I'm gonna be a little bit skeptical. But he's not the only one. We know he's not the only guy who's going to be on the Raptors' radar. We talked about Sergio Scariolo. Oh my God, JJ Redick. I don't want to even bring that up. Kenny Atkinson, Becky Hammond, and I saw Sergio Scariolo, right?
Yeah.
And Mike Budenholzer. By the way, Mike Budenholzer also. So I thought would be super fun right now is we know the Raptors will take their sweet time picking the coach. And let's just look at what they've got going. We've got the 5 guys. Did you guys also like my cap cut skills? Sorry, my canvas skills. If you notice, Kenny Atkinson is right behind Budenholzer for a reason.
It's a kindergarten level cap cut.
You would know all about kindergarten, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So I want you guys, Justin, you can go first. You're clearly feeling interrupted today. To rank these 5 from least desired to most desired.
Is Monty a part of this?
Yeah, is Monty a part of it?
He could be.
We are looking at him.
He has a bunch of guys. I left Monty
So
off.
do
and
I have
JJ
to
Redick
use
off
these
too.
people in the
Yes.
background?
Oh
Or
my
can I
goodness, why
use
do you
my
think
own?
they're there?
Yeah.
Kenny
I thought I could pick my own
Atkinson,
people.
Mike
Do the 5, do the 5.
Budenholzer, Becky Hammond,
fine.
Sergio Scariolo, and Steve Nash.
Okay, so number
Rank
1 for me, Steve Nash.
He's your most desired?
Yeah.
Out of
Just-
that group?
Well,
Yeah.
it's his list.
That's
Okay.
my list, right?
Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
Sorry, that's my list, right? Then it'll be Sergio Scariolo? Scariolo, yeah. Sergio Scariolo. Then it would be probably Kenny Atkinson, who looks like Nick Nurse in that photo right there.
You don't know your man.
More
He
than
looks like
what?
Nick Nurse a
not
little
even.
bit, kinda. Then I would do Mike Budenholzer, but Becky Hammond just basically said she's not gonna want to coach the Raptors, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's you should
It
not.
could also be like what you would want, but I get it.
If it was up to me, I'd probably, like Jelani mentioned, Monty Williams. That'd be the top of my list.
No,
right?
I don't
No,
mean
she
that.
meant,
I mean,
like,
stay
with
on
where
the
Becky-
list, Justin.
Oh,
Stay on the
okay.
list. Crina, how about you?
I think I'd have Kenny first. I think
Okay.
he would be my number 1 option. And then I'd probably go Sergio, just based on like the experience he already has with the Raptors. And I think he's shown that he's been successful both in the NBA and overseas as well. And then I think I'd go Bud, Becky, Steve Nash. Just because I think Bud is still a really good coach and I think he's going to end up somewhere.
Yeah.
And then Becky, like Justin kind of said, the odds of her, like to me, she would be number 1 on my list, honestly, if she were to be open to it. But I know that she isn't, so that's why she's lower. And then Steve Nash, you've already heard my thoughts on him, so that's my list.
I'd probably go Kenny. I've been talking about it. I want him. It's probably unlikely, but I would like to see him here. Second, I'd probably go Sergio in-house. I don't mind going in-house with it. That's why Adrian Griffin could also be an option for us. So I'd go with him at 2. 3, Budenholzer. He's done it. I've seen him do it. I know there's questions with him.
Bro.
I know. I know there's questions with him, but yeah. Then I'd say Steve Nash. Still, like Justin was saying, very good basketball mind. We've seen it before. Still some questions, like I mentioned earlier, about him. I'm not too sure. And then Becky, just because I know she's not coming here. Like, come on, let's be honest. So that's my list.
Okay, I get it. That's fair enough.
What's your list?
You care?
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit. Okay, well, for me, number 1, I think I'm gonna go with Sergio. I like the European factor. I think they're all about business. They're all about setting the standard. They're all about locker room and getting guys to their positions. And I think because he's already been there beforehand. We've seen his work with the team. He's already understood the team as well. He honestly, even amongst all the other coaches that Justin just can't help but mention, he probably would be my number 1. After that, I'm gonna go with Kenny Atkinson, Golden State Warriors, their offense. Everything goes to him. I want to see that replicated in Toronto. 3rd, I'm going to go with Becky. I know she doesn't want to be here, but I'm going to even put her above Budenholzer and Steve Nash. I can't help it.
You mean you didn't bring her back from Vegas from your trip?
I mean, I'm going to try. Let's see. Number 4, do I want to win or do I want to win in the regular season? Budenholzer, okay, I guess we can be a winning record in the regular season. Let's not go there.
And Coach of the Year twice.
Okay, that's
a curse award. Let's
not go there, guys. We saw what happened
it's
this
notable.
year.
It's notable.
It's a notable
we saw
thing,
what
right?
happened.
Nothing to sleep
Listen,
on.
if I cared about the regular season, I would give him my flowers. All right, but I want to go far.
I mean, you got to do well in the regular season to make the playoffs, though.
I mean, look at the Miami Heat. Do you?
Miami Heat's a different.
You're done. Anyway,
they were the
there's
number
5
1
people
seed last
behind
year in
me.
the Eastern Conference.
Like interrupting.
Speaking of Miami, I would love to have Chris Quinn.
Oh, I like that
yeah,
one.
I think that would
he
be
coached
if he was available. Like I don't know if he is, but
Honestly,
I would
anyone
like him. I like him a lot.
Under Spoelstra's coaching tree, I'll take it. I love him. I think everything he's got going on is perfect. Miami, whatever they're doing right now, big parts to him. But like I said, there's 5 behind me. There's probably like 50,000 of the Raptors looking at right now. Next call could be honestly me, Crina. Who knows?
No. Why would we do that?
No.
Why would we not? They're interviewing JJ Redick. They could bring Crina and I on too, guys.
There's a high chance that.
No, it's enough. Okay, we'll see you guys next time with more news on Hoop Talks.